So good morning, students. So let us start the session. In today class, so we are going to start third unit. So third unit regarding single layer perceptrons. So what is perceptron? First, before going to this, we are going to see what is perceptron. A perceptron is a neural network unit that does certain computations to detect features in the input data. That means, so you are going to provide the input data to a neural network unit. Now, this neural network unit can do some computations to detect the features. So what it means? So for example, you take rainfall detection model. Now, in this, you are going to predict the rainfall. You are going to predict the rainfall. So for this, you are going to give some input data. Input data. Now, so based on this input data, the neural network unit can so predict the rainfall. That we are called as a feature. Here, what is the feature? The prediction is the future. Okay. So what is perceptron? A perceptron is a neural network unit that does certain computations to detect features in the input data. Okay. So now, so coming to single layer perceptron. So perceptron was introduced by Sir Frank Rosenblatt. Sir Rosenblatt. So perceptron was introduced by Sir Frank Rosenblatt in 1957. He proposed a perceptron learning rule so based on the original MCP neutron. So MCP neutron. So what is MCP neutron means? MCP means McCulloch and Pitts neuron. So these two are the scientist names. So McCulloch and Pitts neuron. The Frank Rosenblatt proposed a perceptron learning rule based neurons, and the originally it is inherited from this MCP neuron. Okay, so single layer means there are two types of perceptrons. So one is single layer, another one is multi-layer. So what is single layer? Okay, types of perceptrons. There are two types. There are two types of perceptrons. One is single layer perceptron, second one is multi-layer perceptron. What is single layer perceptron? In single layer perceptron, there is no hidden lines. There is no hidden layers. If there is no hidden layers, so that we are called as a single layer perceptron. So what it means? So there is some only input and output neurons. Input and output neurons. So now, so this is the input neurons, these three, and this is the output. So this is the output neuron, and this is input neuron. In this model, there is no hidden layers. So this type of neural network we call as a single layer perceptron. Okay, coming to multi-layer perceptron. In multi-layer perceptron, there is hidden layers. So this is the input, and so this is the output. In this, so these are the hidden layers. So in multi-layer perceptrons, there are hidden layers. Okay, there are two types of perceptrons. One is single layer perceptron, and second another one is multi-layer perceptron. Okay, I hope you all are understand. So what is perceptron and what is single layer perceptron? Okay, so this is the example for single layer perceptron. So x1, x2, xn. So all these are the input neurons. Okay, so these input neurons have some weights. These are the synaptic weights W1, W2, W3, and it has some bias. It has some bias. Okay, so now, so this is the input summation here. So this is the activation function. Okay, structure and learning of perceptron. Structure and learning of perceptron. How the perceptrons are learning. The perceptron is the simplest form of the neural network and is able to classify data into two classes. One is input, another one is output. So what it means? So there are only two classes. One is input, another one is output. Okay, so this is the output. So this is the input and this is the output y. Okay, so for this we are going to give bias b and weights. So this is the weight 1 and this is the x1. So this is the x1, and similarly, so this is the weight 2. So this is the x2, and this is the x3, and this is weight 3. Okay, so now, so what is the y? So here the y is the output. So this is y in. So what is the y in? So that means this is the summation. Y in equals to, if you observe that, so what is the y in? B plus. So b plus what? X1 W1. That means, for example, we can represent that as a xi wi, and it is the summation of I equals to 1 to n. I equals to 1 to n. Here the n equals to 3. Okay, so how many input neurons we have? 1, 2, 3. So it is 1 equals to I equals to 1 to 3. That means the y in, that means the input, equals to bias plus sigma I equals to 1 to n xi and wi. Okay, so now, so what is the output? What is the y? So this is the summation, and so what is a y? So y is nothing but output. Now by using the activation function, you are going to conclude this output can give one answer. So the either 0 or 1. I hope you all are know about the output neuron. So output neuron can, so gives the future, either it is true or false, like that. So here y in means it is a input. Here we get the summation, but we don't want the summation, we get some result. So here the result y equals to the output y equals to 1 or 0 or minus 1. So y equals to 1, 0 or minus 1 when it is 1. So when the output is 1, when the output is 1 means if this y in, here we get some answer. If, so this y in is, so greater than theta, greater than theta. Okay, so theta is nothing but it is a target. So this is the target level. Now if you reach the y in is greater than this target, then the output is 1. If this y in less than or equals to this theta and greater than or equals to minus theta, then it is 0. When it is minus 1, if this y in, if this y in is less than minus theta, now you are going to find the y in. Now if this y in value is greater than the threshold, so greater than theta means here the theta is nothing but it's a threshold. Okay, that means if this y in value is greater than the threshold, then the output is 1. If the value of y in is so less than theta and greater than minus theta, then the output is 0. If the y in less than minus theta, then the value is minus 1. Okay, so this is more important. So structure and learning of perceptron. So this is the, here we are taking the input neurons and so weights, and this is y. So y in equals to the b bias plus xi wi. Xi means all the input lines, so wi means all the outputs, and so this is the actually y in value, but we want the output, so that is indicating with y. So y equals to, we have three values, 1, 0, minus 1. So when it becomes 1, if y I in greater than theta, that means a threshold, then it is 1. If it is lies between theta and minus theta, then it is 0. If it is less than minus theta, then it is minus 1. Okay, so now we are going to see the algorithm. Okay, so this is the algorithm. So single, so this is for okay, single layered perceptron. So this is the algorithm. Okay, we have 7 steps. 7 steps. So what is the first step? Initialize weights and bias and learning rate. Learning rate. Okay, so initialize weights and bias and learning rate. So initially it can be 0 and set learning rate alpha. Here the alpha is learning rate. So what is the first step? Initialize weights. That means, so if, so these are the neurons. Okay, let us take 2 neurons and 1 neuron output. So these are the synaptic links. So W1, W2 are the synaptic weights. So this is the X1 neuron, X2, and this is the Y. Okay, so now, so what is the first step? Initialize weights and bias. So this is the bias. So initialize the bias with W1 equals to 0. So W2 equals to 0 and so bias equals to 0. Okay, so that is initialization. For X1 and X2, we have the values we discuss in few moments. Okay, and the learning rate alpha, so 0 to 1, we are taking as a 1. Okay, what is the step 2? While stopping condition is false, do steps 3 to 7. Okay, up to the condition is false, we are going to say execute the steps 3 to 7. Next, what is the step 3? For each training pair, for each training pair S T, do steps 4 to 6. So for each training pair, say yes to do step, so 4 to 6. So that means here we are going to take so x1, x2. For this x1, x2, we are going to take the values and we are going to apply the 4 to 6 on this pair. Okay, we discuss with one example for better understanding. So now the step 4. What is the step 4? Set activation of input units xi equals to sj for 1 to n. Set activation of input units xi equals to sj. So xi is nothing but the input, and sj equals to, you are going to give the values of x1 comma x2 for I equals to 1 to n. Step 5. So compute the output unit response here. Now here, so this is the y in. Now you are going to calculate the value for this yn. The value for this yn is bias plus the sigma equals to 1 to n wi xi. Okay, I hope you all are understand this formula from this diagram. So what is the yn? Yn means, so b, this is the b bias b plus this x1 w1 plus x2 w2. So that we can represent like this. So by b plus sigma I equals to 1 to n wi xi. Okay, here you are going to find the output now. So step 5. So compute the output unit response. So this is the unit response. Yn is the input. So for this unit, this is the y is the output. So y equals to, so function, you are going to apply the function activation function on this y in. Now, so we can determine that, so these are the three values 1, 0, minus 1. When this y in value greater than theta threshold, then it is 1. If it is lies between the threshold theta and minus theta, then it is 0. If it is less than minus theta, we determine that as a minus 1. Okay, now the sixth step. The weights and bias are updated if the target is not equal to output response. So for example, here I am taking that the output response is 1. Let us assume like that. Now I got the output as a 0. Now my desired response is 1, but the actual response is 0. Now I want to change the weights. Okay, the weights and bias are updated if the target is not equals to output response. The target is 1, but I got the output as 0. If these two are the not equal, if these two are the not equal to output response, that is t not equals to y. So this is the y and the target is 1. Now if both these two are not equal, then you are going to update the values of weights and bias. Okay, if t not equals to y and the values of xi is not 0, then wi new, so that means new weight equals to old weight and learning rate into target into input value. Okay, and similarly for bias, so bias equals to b old, that means the old bias plus learning rate alpha into target. If it t equals to y, then wi equals to old w old weight only, and so new bias also old bias only. That means wi new equals to wi old, and so b new equals to b old. Okay, the last step is test for stopping condition. The stopping condition is, so based on the input lines, based on the how many inputs you have. Okay, so quickly we can memorize one more time. So the step 1, the step 1 is initialize the weights. Initialize the weights. Step 2 is you are going to execute the steps 3 to 7. 3 to 7. And coming to third step. So third step, you are going to pair the inputs. So yes, T. The fourth step is set activation of inputs. So xi equals to sj. That means here you are going to take the input values. How many input values? For example, 2 means you are going to take, so in first iteration 1 comma 1 like that. In fifth, this is 5 and 6 are the more important. So compute output response. So compute output response. Okay, so based on that response, the sixth one, update. update the weights and bias. So seventh one is top condition. Seventh one is top condition. So first step is initialization. Second step is you can execute 3 to 7 steps. And third step, you are going to take each training pair. So fourth step, set activation of inputs. And fifth step, you are going to compute the output response. So based on this output response, the sixth step is update the weights and bias. The seventh step is stop the stopping condition. Okay, so now we are going to see one example. So how the single the single layer perceptron learning. Just wait 1 second. Okay, so this is the demonstrate a perceptron for performing AND function here. AND function here. So normally the truth table for AND function here we are using AND function. So 1 1, this is the 1. Okay, so normally we are taking 0 1, here we are taking minus 1 1. So minus 1 1 minus 1. Similarly minus 1 1, output is minus 1. So minus 1 minus 1, the output is 1. So this is the AND. So demonstrate a perceptron for performing AND function here. So normally we are taking 1 1 1, so 1 0 0, so 0 1 0, so 0 0 0. Here we are taking some minus 1 in the place of zeros. Okay, now so these are the inputs. So these are the inputs. So x1 x2. So this is the x1 and so this is the x2, and the target is 1 neuron. So this is the y. So this is the y. Okay, so these have some weights. So w1 w2, and so this is the bias. Okay, here it is AND operator, AND function. Here we are doing with the AND function and AND gate. Okay, the x1 x2 values 1 1, and the bias value is 1, the target is 1. Similarly minus 1 1, the bias is 1, the target is minus 1. So this is the assumption: 1 minus 1, bias is 1, the target is minus 1. So x1 is minus 1, x2 is minus 1, b is 1, the target is minus 1. Pawan 98. Pawan
sir.
unmute chera. Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, okay, so this is the inputs x2 sorry x1 x2 b and target is t. So now we are going to apply the algorithm. So what is the algorithm? The step 1, initialize the weights. Okay, so this is the initialization part. This is the x1 x2. x1 equals to 1, x2 equals to 1, and initially the weights and bias are zeros. Okay, I hope algorithm already we discussed that algorithm. In that, the first step is initialize weights and bias. Okay, that means the weights are initialized with 0 and bias is 0. That means this b equals to 0, w equals to 0, w2 equals to 0, and x1 equals to, what is x1? 1, x2 value 1. Okay, and what is the t value? The target is 1. Now you are going to find the y-in value. From this you are going to find the y value. So from this, after that we check this y is equals to t or not. So this y is equals to t or not. Okay, we begin the computation. So for step 3, so what is the step 3? For input pair, what is the input pair here? 1 1. The input pair is 1 1. Do steps from 4 to 6. So 4 to 6. So what is the fourth step? Set activations. Set activations xi. Xi, what is the xi? All the inputs, here 2 inputs, here 2 inputs. So these are the 2 inputs. What is the 2 inputs? 1 comma 1. That is the xi. Xi equals to 1 comma 1 here. Okay, straight. Okay, okay. So now, so this is the x1 1 comma 1. Now what's the step 5? Calculate the net input. So calculate the net input here. Okay, so how we can calculate the net input? Means based on the y-in value. So y-in equals to, so bias plus sigma equals to 1 to n xi into wi. That means, so b plus x1 w1 and plus x2 w2. x2 w2. So why here we have only 2 input lines? So x1 w1 plus x2 w2. Now we can calculate y-in. So what is the b value? The b value initially 0 plus, so what is the x1 value? 1 1 into, so what is the w1? 0 plus, what is the x2 value? 1. W2 is 0. That means 0 plus 1 into 0 plus 1 into 0. What is the output? 0 is the answer. Now apply the activation function for this above net input. So this is the y-in equals to 0. So we are going to find the y value. So based on this value, now, so this is the threshold. What is the t? So here is 0. So y-in is greater than 0, then you are going to take as a 1. Here what is the y-in value? The y-in value is lies between minus 0 and 0. So therefore y equals to 0. The final answer for this, y-in equals to 0. That means if the inputs are 1 and the bias is 0 and the weights are 0, then the output y equals to 0. Now, so what is the target? What is the target? So what is the target here? The target is 1 here. If you observe that, the target is 1. So we can update the weights. We update the weights. The t equals to 1, but we got y equals to 0. So t not equals to y. If it is equals to y, no change in the weights and bias. If it is not equals to y, then the new weights and bias are, these are the new weights. What is the new weight? New weight equals to old weight plus the learning rate into t target into input. Okay, here, so w1 equals to, the old w1 is 0. So we can update this w1. How? The old w1, that is 0 plus, so what is the learning rate? 1 into, what is the target? 1 into, and what is the input? 1. So 1 into 1 into 1. Now 1. Now, so this is the new weight for next iteration. This is the new weight for next iteration. So W2 new. Okay, again you are going to calculate. So W2 volt plus, that means a 0 plus 1 into 1 into 1, that equals to 1. Now the W2 is also 1. Now update the bias. So bias is nothing but volt bias plus alpha plus T, that is that's also equals to 1. Now so this is the W1, W2 bias. Okay, what is the volt W1? 0, the volt W2 0, and the bias 0. And what are the new values, updated values? 1, 1, and bias is 1. Now we are going to take the values like this: x1 equals to 1, x2 equals to 1, so w1 equals to 1, w2 equals to 1, b equals to 1, and again we are going to do the same operation, the 4, 5, 6. Okay, the updated new weights and bias. So what is the updated weights? 1, 1, 1. Now the updated values are x1 equals to 1, x2 equals to 1, alpha equals to 1, w1 equals to 1, w2 equals to 1, b equals to 1. Now we calculate net input again. Yn equals to, so b, what is the b value? 1 plus, so x1 w1, 1 into 1 plus x2 y2, again 1 into 1, that is 3. Now apply the activation function. So y equals to function of y in. Here the y in is greater than 0, so the value is 1. The y equals to 1. Okay, now again you are going to check what is the target. T equals to 1, the target equals to 1, and the y equals to 1. Now so both the values are same, so we don't change the weights and bias. So weights and bias. Okay, so this is the first case for this problem here. So this is the first case, 1, 1, b1, the target is 1. So initially we are taking x1 equals to 1, x2 equals to 1, so w1 equals to 0, w2 equals to 0, and bias equals to 0. And we calculate the target output y equals to 0, but this is not matched with the t. Why? T equals to 1 actually. So we update the weights and bias. We update the weights and bias. So how? So based on the rule step 6. Now we modify these weights. W1 equals to 1, W2 equals to 1, and B equals to 1. And again we are applying that. Then we got the output 1, and target is also 1. So for input 1, 1, the weights are 1, 1, and the bias is 1. Okay, now we reached the target. T equals to 1. Okay, now we move to second one. What is the second one here? This is the second input. Minus 1, 1. So what is the target here? Minus 1. Target is minus 1. Okay. So this is the second case. What is the x1 value? The x1 equals to minus 1, and x2 equals to 1, and what is the w1? 1, w2 equals to 1, b equals to 1. Okay, the learning rate alpha equals to 1, t equals to minus 1. Now we are doing the same steps. We are going to apply the same steps for -1 and 1. If we get the target y value equals to -1, then we don't apply these weights. If we don't get -1, then we are going to update these weights. We can see that. Now we start the computation. Okay, so here the input pairs are -1, 1. Okay, so x1 equals to -1, x2 equals to 1. Now the calculate y in, so bias plus, so that means 1 plus, so -1 into the weight is 1 plus the input 1 into the weight is 1. Here we get 1 as a output. So y in equals to 1. Now what is the y value? If you apply this 1 0 -1, so this one greater than 0, so the y value equals to 1, but the target is -1. Actually we get 1, but the target is -1, so you are going to update the weights. So how we can update the weights? So new weight equals to old weight plus, so learning rate plus t into x of I. Similarly for weight bias. Okay, now so these are the calculations. Okay, so W1 new equals to old weight. What is the old weight? 1 plus, so learning rate 1 into t value -1 and x1 value. So what is the x1 value? -1. If we calculate, we get 2. Similarly, so W2. So old W2, WT, so old W2 1 plus learning rate 1 into -1 into 1. We get 0. The bias, new bias equals to old bias is 1 plus 1 into -1, 0. That means the old values W1 equals to 1, W2 equals to 1 and the bias equals to 1. Now after updation, what is the W1 value? W1 value equals to 2, W2 equals to 0, the bias is 0. Okay, now we can apply the same on same input. Now we calculate the net input again. So B, what is the B value here? 0 plus sigma I equals to 1 to n xi into wi. We get so 0 plus, so -1 into 2. Here the -1. What is the -1? X1 value. So this is W1. So what is the W1 value? 2. Here 2 plus x2 value, that is 1. This is the x2 and W2 equals to 0. So 0. So when you calculate this, we got -2. Now, so based on the activation function, if it is greater than -0, so -2, sorry, it's less than -0, then the y value equals to -1. The y value equals to -1. So the y equals to -1 and the desired output t equals to the target is also -1. So both are the same. Okay, so now up to now we complete second step. Okay, now you try to solve for the third and fourth input. Okay, so these are the targets. In tomorrow class we are going to discuss about the remaining part in this, and we are going to see instead of AND function we are going to use OR also. Instead of AND we are going to discuss with OR. So then if we are using the OR, what is output? 1 1, the output is 1. -1 1, then also output is 1. 1 minus 1 1, -1 -1 -1. Okay, so for this we are going to for this topic we are going to discuss in our next session.